Hey, look, yesterday was a big day for Pete Evans and his followers. And Ben, I think this guy is cooked.
Yeah, 100%. So yesterday we discussed Pete Evans' involvement with I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, Australia, to which we confirmed he was in North New South Wales ready to start production on the Channel 10 program, which was going to start production today. I'll tell you what, however, as we know, his very controversial post over the weekend, which included a neo-Nazi symbol of the Black Sun, spelt basically doom for the controversial chef. By 3 p.m. yesterday, his publisher, Pan Macmillan, had abandoned their contractual relationship with Evans. This was the message that came out from Pan Macmillan. Pan Macmillan does not support the recent post made by Pete Evans. Those views are not our views as a company or the views of our staff. Pan Macmillan was finalising its contractual relationship with Pete Evans, and as such, they will not be entering into any further publishing agreements moving forward. And they also went as far as saying if any retailer wishes to return Pete Evans' books, please contact Pan Macmillan. This is pretty outrageous. So yesterday, with Pete Evans in lockdown and production scheduled to start today, Channel 10 and ITV Studios made the decision to go into damage control and ask Pete to post an apology for his neo-Nazi comment, which sounded a bit like this. So this is the tweet. Sincere apologies to anyone who misinterpreted a previous post of a caterpillar and a butterfly having a chat over a drink and perceived that I was promoting hatred. I look forward to studying all the symbols that have ever existed and researching them thoroughly before posting. Hopefully this symbol resonates deeply into the hearts of all. However, there was no turning back at this particular point, as Pete himself confirmed that he knew exactly what this post meant. So we've got a little graphic now which shows you Pete was questioned about this, the questioning of the symbol, and he said he was waiting for someone to acknowledge what this imagery meant. Pete Evans, come on, like he cooked himself with this because he
knew
definitely
exactly what he was doing, Ben. He knew what that symbol was. To BS his followers and say that he didn't know, he is a liar.
So I woke up this morning and was on Kyle and Jackie O discussing this with Jackie O and Kyle. And you know what? The interesting thing about just before going on air was that it was confirmed to me that Pete Evans was fired. Now, Pete Evans will not be in I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, which is a pre-record that starts today and will not be seen on screens until the 3rd of January. Channel 10 have come out. They have said that Pete Evans is not in the cast, but they really haven't confirmed the fact that they chose him in the first place. So today,
what was
as we
interesting about this, Ben, I want to jump in because you had a big exclusive yesterday, and what 10 have tried to do today is put out a statement to as many reporters as they can, trying to discredit your report and say, oh, Pete Evans isn't going into the jungle. Well, no. And why is that, Ben? What happened this morning that made that a true statement?
Sorry, say that question again. Sorry, I had a stroke. What was that?
I was saying what made that statement from Channel 10 true? The fact that he isn't going into the jungle. It's none other than they fired him this morning. Isn't that correct?
Well, they fired him, so he's still there. He has been told that he is no longer required to be on the show. The nature of this show means they can pop celebrities in whenever they like, so they won't be replacing him today as the production starts. They will be putting an extra celebrity as the show goes on. Channel 10 are yet to actually confirm this whole story, but apparently Pete Evans is pretty pissed off, and whether or not they get him to sign a contract that says he's not allowed to talk about it and therefore is entitled to his pay, which is believed to be anything between $50,000 and $250,000. Majority of people in the industry are saying that Pete Evans himself will take the opportunity to be silenced and take the money from Channel 10, which I would say is a really bad idea because I've gone on the evolution with Pete Evans on this. I thought, you know what, if he's a PG Pete Evans, let's have him on the show. Pete Evans on TV can be good content. I personally didn't understand the ramifications of what he was talking about. I didn't understand the connections properly through to Christchurch and the origins of that image. Once you understand that, once you speak to someone who is Jewish, who might be offended with the anti-Semitic remarks that are included, you 100% see that there is no purpose on Pete Evans ever being on television ever again. And therefore, Today, we have seen, and I think we've got graphics of this as well, we've seen multiple people who are in bed with Pete Evans pulling out their contracts. So here's just one of them, which is...
It's Baccarat Australia responding to a question on social media. And it says, "Hi, Jeff. Baccarat Kitchenware has recently been made aware of the social media posts and comments by Mr. Pete Evans, which are completely contrary to our values. In our view, the images and views expressed by Mr. Evans are abhorrent, unacceptable and deeply offensive. Baccarat will immediately terminate its license agreement for the manufacturer."
Big W has also told, has spoken out about it. Not only Big W, but a whole list of other people that are distributing his books. No, everyone is slowly but surely deplatforming, which is what we're talking about. Before I kick it over to the two of you, I just want to quickly say something which is really important to me personally, and that is my opinions yesterday and supporting Pete Evans to be on the show came from a nice place. It came about not deplatforming people and enjoying conversation with people you don't necessarily agree with. I am in full awareness of how wrong that is now, and I apologise to anyone out there that I've offended. I'll leave that with you, boys.
We all grow, Ben. We all grow. I stood up for that guy appearing on this show. I hate the fact I put him on this show now. And admitting that on Twitter, I got abused because I didn't stop it the first time. You can't win with some people on Twitter. You can only evolve and be true to yourself. The simple fact is this guy's career is dead. It's done. It's dusted.
It's the Ben, Rob and Robbo, Ben, Rob and Robbo, Ben, Rob and Robbo Show.